Hi, this video is for the general bracket in Fusion 360. This is our second drawing. You can pause the video anytime that you need to. Okay. With this drawing, we're going to learn a couple new features that's going to make drawing a little bit easier for you. Okay. So, if we look at this one, we notice that all the dimensions are in inches. So in Fusion 360, under document settings here, you're going to hit this little arrow and you're going to check to see the units is inches. If it's not, you're going to hit this icon that's next to it. Come over to units type, switch from millimeters to inches, and then say OK. Then to start drawing on here, we got to do is call it a sketch. So we're going to create sketch. So we're going to hit this. And then you're going to have three options here, these three planes. Okay. At this point, it doesn't really matter. Later on, we will get very specific and you have to select the right plane. All right. So I'm just going to hit this plane right here. All right. So if we look at this object, I'm trying to think, see if anything that's really standing out. And to me, what stands out is this circle. Okay. So let's go ahead and create this circle first, and then we can create the rest of the features. All right. To create a circle, you're going to come up here to Circle Command, set center and diameter. Select that, and I know I'm selected because it turns blue. And I'm going to use this point here called the origin as a center, and then bring it out and click. All right. Now, if you use a mouse, you notice how I hit the center wheel like a button, and it turns into a hand, and then I can move stuff around. Okay. So that's the circle right here. Okay. And I notice it has two straight lines going down. So let's go to our line command. I'm going to go right here to this side of the circle. I'm going to draw a line going straight. And I want to make sure that little icon that pops up there, okay, if I go with a little angle, it's gone. Come straight over, it's there. So I'm going to click. I'm going to hit the escape button, which is the upper left-hand side, to get out of the command. And then I can go back in, do the same thing, go over to the side, click, come straight down, click. All right. Now, we need to get rid of this center part here because you notice there's no circle right here. So we need to delete that. So I'm going to go over to my scissors, which is trim. And I hit this right here. Okay. Only thing else I need to make sure of is that this line is right even with the circle, which is called tangent. Okay. So tangent's right here. It's our constraint. So I'm going to hit that line. Make sure the line's highlighted. So click and highlight the circle, or now the arc. Click and I get that icon. That's the tangent. So let's do this one too. Hit that line, hit that circle, and we get that tangent. Perfect. Okay, that's this part right here. Okay, now I'm going ahead and I'm going to go ahead and draw the rest. Now this part right here, I'm going to not draw the circle, I'm going to do as a square. I'm going to show you another feature that will do that. Okay, so I'm going to my line, pick a point, and start kind of drawing out the rest of this object. Okay, bring it up to an angle. You just move your cursor at an angle. Click. Again, I'm kind of just guessing. Okay. So you notice how that line popped over there? So I know that I'm even. Bring it straight down. Okay, about right there. Bring it over. down, and finish. All right. So there's our object. Somewhat looks like that. Okay. I will now take care of this constraints. Okay. And you notice all these corners here all have all these T's. These T's means perpendicular. Okay. But I notice this line right here is a little bit at an angle. It's supposed to be straight. So if I do perpendicular, hit that line and then a straight line with it, and it straightens up. Okay. Another thing we want to make sure is that these 2 points line up. We can't use perpendicular, but we can use horizontal and vertical, going straight line. So I want that point to be lined up with this point. You notice it drops down and put our constraints on there. Okay. So now, since I got all that, I want to put these dimensions in. Let's start with that circle, or the arc, and there's a distance between these 2 lines, which is 2 inches. Okay. Now I know that's it because this is a dimension. These are dimension lines. One was the arrowheads. And then the dimensions pointing to the extension line. Extension lines extend to the object. Basically, it's telling you where to click to put this dimension in. Okay. So I go into Fusion, Dimension. I click on the 2 points for that dimension, and I say I bring it up and down. It doesn't really matter where you place it, just as long as you place it. And then I hit 2, enter. Okay, and that takes care of all that. Okay. All right. Another dimension, let's go with this big one here. I'm going to get this one here in a minute. Is 5 inches. And I notice it goes from the left side all the way to the right side. So the left side to the right side, bring it down. And it's going to be 5 inches. Notice how that kind of went inside? Because these 2 objects are not even with each other. Okay. That's what this one's for. Okay, we notice this from this left side to the center of the circle. So I'm going to click on the left side to the center of the circle. Bring it, you know how it's angled there. We want to bring it where it's straight, just like that. And then it's 2.5. Now you see it's now even on both sides. Okay, that's all this dimensions here. Okay, we got this dimension. The 2.75 is from this corner all the way up to this top corner. From this bottom corner to the top corner. Okay, and it's again 2.75. Okay, and you can see how it folds in on itself. So I'm going to backspace 2 so it undoes. I'm not going to get rid of this. I'm going to do other dimensions and then I'll add that one. Okay. Okay, and since this one came down on top of this, okay, now we'll just keep going around. Okay, so this angle here is at 45. And we notice that with this angle, it's hitting this top line and this angled line. Okay, dimension, top line, angle line, and we want to put it in the same spot. Notice that it's right here, so that's where we want to put it. And it's just 45. Okay, we could do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that it's also 45 degrees, and yep, looks like that. Now, since it already has constraints on it, it says that we're going to overdo it. It's useless, so we're just going to hit cancel and not worry about it. Okay, we got this top line that's 1 1/4 inches. So we can hit the 2 corners, or we can just hit the line, and it does the same thing. 1.25. Okay. You notice it's uneven too. Okay. So to even this one, we have to do like the same thing here. Half of 5 is 2.5. We're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to pick one corner, and since it's more on this side than that side, I'm going to pick this one, hit the center, bring it straight up, okay, and we want half of that, okay, which is 0.75, and it centers it up, okay. Now, the circle, there is a dimension on that circle, so it's 1.5 inches from the bottom. So circle, the center of the circle is at the bottom, 1.5 inches. Okay. Notice all this now got messed up. So let's now go back to this dimension. Okay, this 2.75. Let's put that back in. So I double click on that, say 2.5, and it still kind of messes it up. So let's do this. Go back and back. All right. So since that didn't work, we're going to go on, which is this dimension right here, 1/4 inch. This part right here is 1/4 inch. Okay, so let's put that in. This line here and here is 1/4 inch. Okay, let's do that on this side. Click on the 2 points, 0.25. Right? So let's try this again. Let's go back. Oh, let's actually put this one in too. The thickness here is 2.5. So to do that, I'm going to hit on these two lines. Okay. You can click in the middle. You can click off the outside. 2.5. To the other side too. Here, here. Go off to the side. 0.25. All right, let's try this one again. Double click. That's supposed to be 1.5. 1.5. Better. And now we got this last one. 2.75. 2.75. There we go. So when it comes out to mentioning doing this, you could either move the object back to the right location or just undo it, leave the dimension in there because you eventually are going to have to do that, and then put other dimensions in to see. Okay. Now you notice that all these marks and everything gets in the way. So you can come over to your sketch palette, show constraints, and click that off, and it hides it. Okay. You can do the same sort of dimensions. Okay. Now, doing that, I kind of noticed something, that these two corners are not even. These two corners should be even. So we got another constraint that's horizontal vertical. And we'll say that that point is even with this point. And it should, and it doesn't. Oh, there is a dimension. So let's put our dimensions back in. Let's see what we got here. Oops. Dimension. All right. So there is nothing here. Okay. Let's try this again. Actually, let's show our constraints. I don't see anything, so let's try this again. And it didn't work. Okay. So this is where, yeah. See that little mark right there? It's tangent. It's perpendicular. 90 degrees. Well, we don't want this to be 90 degrees. So we're going to delete it. Oops, I deleted the line instead. Okay. That's fine. We redraw it. And let's try the horizontal vertical constraint again. There we go. Okay. But the angle's a little different. Okay. Oh, I see what the problem is. This is not even. This whole thing is not even. Okay. So let's make it even. So from here to here, and we want it straight. There we go. It's 1. So nope, that's not it. Let's see here. Let me do a little calculation real quick. And double check something. Make sure I did my math right. And oh, I didn't. Okay. I didn't do this one right. So here's a quick shortcut to fix the math. Okay. I'm going to click that one. Since I'm referring to this one, I'm just going to hit that one. And that's why you get a D number dimension. That's the 6th dimension I put in. And I divide it by 2. There we go. So it's okay to make mistakes. Okay. And you can always go back and fix it. Okay. You don't, I've seen a lot of students just delete everything. Don't delete it. Think about it and work through the problem. Okay. It's faster doing it that way than just delete it. Okay. Sometimes you do, but it's like the last case scenario. Okay. So, just one mistake throws the whole thing off. But if you think about it, I double checked my math, you're good. All right. So the last thing we need to do is to round these corners off. All right. So let me turn some of this stuff off so you can see this. All right. There is a command called a fillet. And what it does is rounds. So all you have to do is click on the corner, see, and you can see the preview in red. You can do both at the same time. The radius is 0.25. 0.25. All right. View's done. We're going to hit Finish Sketch. And then to see what we're going to do, over here on your viewing cube, you have this house. If you click on the house, it gives you an angle view. Okay, it might be in a different direction, but as long as it is at an angle. Okay, we're going to go up here to extrude. And then it already selected everything for us. The thickness is 1 inch. So I just hit 1. And there's your completed part. Okay, to save, you're going to come up here to save. I would suggest put the title in of what the part is. So this is the journal bracket. Make sure you save it under the administration project. If you don't, you might have a problem on sharing it. So you're going to hit save. Okay, to turn it in, you're going to go back up to File, come down to View Details on Web, wait for this box to come up. Okay, you have the share icon right here. If you can't select that, let me know. But we're going to hit share. Make sure the share link is on and allow viewers to download. That allows me to download it and actually open it up in Fusion myself. And then hit the copy button. You see a little check mark. Okay. Go back into Google Classroom. Add a link under the assignment for journal bracket and turn it in. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you next time.